Hi, I'm Dr. Georgia Witkin.
And I'm Kimberly Pauley.
And I'm Kimberly's mother.
And I'm the mother of 2 boys.
Which makes me Gigi for Grandma Georgia.
So welcome to Gigi and me.
We talk about everything.
Well, the reason I talk to my mother about everything is that she's a professor of psychiatry, professor of OBGYN, she's written 10 books on stress, and she's a Fox News contributor.
And Kimberly is a lawyer, a columnist, a college professor, and pregnant.
So we're going to be talking about pregnancy. Please join us.
Okay, now let's talk about the guys who are not in the room, but they're here in spirit, the fathers. First, let's introduce ourselves.
My name is Kimberly Pauley, and I have 2 sons, and I'm pregnant with my 3rd son.
My name is Jenny Weinrib, and I have Oliver here, who's 3 weeks old, and 2 older daughters.
I'm Susan Krause. I have a 3.5-year-old son and a 2-week-old son.
Okay, so let's talk about dads. How about dads when you were pregnant with your first child? Then we'll talk about it. First time, we say we're pregnant, that's the new term. Were they pregnant too?
My husband was not pregnant.
Not pregnant. My husband was in shock for
Denial.
the first 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, mine too.
I mean, did they
Complete
realize
shock.
there was a baby in there, or are they really thinking like life's going to go on the same way, but there'll be something else?
The
around?
latter,
Yeah.
for me, at the beginning at least.
Yeah, I think it's very hard for them to connect when you're pregnant. They're not feeling the things that you're feeling. They're not going through the things that they can be excited. They don't have the same connection that you do.
Okay, then you hold up the baby. You fall in love. The baby is connected to your body. How long does it take them? Are they like
Man,
right
2
there?
years.
Yes, until they are walking and talking and
Can go to a baseball
can
game.
ball back
Exactly.
and forth, can play with them, can say I love you.
Yeah.
I think women, you go, sit and you look into your baby's eyes in the hospital room and you fall in love. And I think that for men, I don't know about your experience, but for men, my experience was until they're really little people and toddlers, they're just kind of a blob. They're a physical,
Absolutely.
something that needs tending to, diapers changed.
And sort of like this a
Bottle
little bit of
feeding.
shock and awe of the whole thing.
Yes.
Trying to be attentive, but kind of like,
Overwhelmed
oh my
with the
gosh.
responsibility of it all.
Yeah.
That now all of a sudden they have another person to take care of. And
I'm thinking about it almost in terms of, I noticed with my husband, a financial, okay, now I have a child
That's what
to
I
take
meant.
care of, and for school and for all these things,
Exactly.
the anxiety level for providing for his family became much more
Right.
intense. And I
Yeah,
think
that
he
makes
felt
sense.
like a real grown-up at that point. And so that
Right.
process
Which I don't
happened.
mind.
No, which
I'm
is
glad
good.
that he
Was
felt
good,
that
yeah.
sense of responsibility, but I have the same.
But not the same connection, with the actual child and their needs and
But
everything
when
at
I
that
had
point.
my first, I remember falling in love just as you described, but it was so physical and so chemical. It was almost like being in junior high and having your first infatuation where, I look at pictures of him now and he looked like a normal baby. He was a little bruised and, he had his issues and I saw none of that at all.
Yeah, you're like, he's perfect.
He's perfect. Yeah, I don't think that they don't have the hormonal reaction, clearly. Their hormones don't
Right.
change to that extent.
There's an interesting study, a new study, and actually it's been replicated, saying that when a new father holds the baby, he does get hormonal changes. Prolactin
Really?
goes up, which is the breastfeeding hormone, and they apparently have it too, not that they're breastfeeding. Testosterone goes down, and they say it might even promote nurturing. You're saying you didn't see any of that. Certainly not for a few years.
I'm not saying that they weren't nurturing and they weren't and he wasn't helpful. He was wonderful from day one. But the connection, the level of connection, and we all have older kids, so now we see the difference.
Right, you see it change.
Yeah, once the kids can actually react to them and respond to them and they have their own relationship, you see the difference between that and the way they were when you first bring the child home, when the child's a baby.
I think what you're saying is really important for first-time mothers, because you're saying the Hollywood fantasy is that you've got him right there and he's looking at the baby and he's holding the baby and he's a deeper voice in the nursery, but he's doing what you're doing. And you're saying he's doing something different. He's there for teaching the kids independence. You're there for bonding, that it's a different thing.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and I don't want to put what the fathers do down because I think it is so important. But as I said, you see how it changes as they get older. And
Right,
they develop
for a
such a
first-time parent, they should be aware that
Right.
the bond that the father will show and have with the child will improve as the child gets to be 1, 2.
Or change.
It changes.
Yeah.
There is hope.
There are exceptions, of course, there are, but you're saying in general,
In general,
don't
it
expect
seems,
him to be.
Not like
Yeah,
a
it's
mother.
different. It's
Right.
different.
Thanks.